Hey gang, welcome to Drag Race TV LA, where we will be recapping episodes 4 and 5 of Drag Race España Season 1. We've got the ball, the reading challenge, and Snatch Game all in one episode. España is not messing around. So if you like to talk Drag Race, you've come to the right place. Hola, hola, hola. It is Mark J. Freeman along with Ollie Drennan.
Hola, muchachos. How is everyone today on this fine Wednesday? It's a hump day.
Hump day. Yay, Chucky Chuck is back, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat room. Luis Manuel Hernandez Elias is with us, although he did warn me on social media that he was going to be here today. You guys, we are recapping the fourth and fifth episodes of Drag Race España. If you'd like to see 1 through 3, you can see them on the Drag Race España playlist. We did it all as one, but I also broke it up into 3 separate episodes. So if you want to watch an episode, watch the recap, you can do that too. So both will be on there. And I'll do the same for this one too. Why not? And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Nope, this way. Down in that corner there, click on that subscribe button. We're almost at 370. We're 1 away from 370. You can be our 370th subscriber. Yes, I know it's something you would want to put on your resume. And be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter and Twitch at DRTVLA. That's how you find out what's going on. And yeah, we are on Twitch now. How exciting. I don't know. We don't really get comments on Twitch, so I don't know if people are watching us on Twitch, but we get them. So, Ollie, initial thoughts on the 4th episode, which was Snatch Game.
Overall, I'm heartbroken. But, because, spoiler alert, we'll talk more about it. My girl went home.
Yeah.
However, I think it's good to kind of feel that way because that means I'm invested. Speaking for myself, I'm so invested in the season, yet also I love them all, like regardless. Even Poopy. I love Poopy. There's something about Poopy that I'm just like, we need her for some reason. I don't know. But so this was probably not my favorite episode, but I was still entertained, enjoyed it. I just love seeing the girls, kind of like surprise me. And especially like, it's so rewarding seeing, because like so far, everyone's won a challenge. So at this point, I don't know who's going to win. So I'm definitely just invested in enjoying the ride.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I enjoyed it. I think it's so funny. I have like a twofold comment about international Snatch Game. The first part of my statement is going to be, it's harder to enjoy because you don't know who these people are. But at the same time, funny is funny. And you can tell, you can get funny even if you don't know who the people are. Like we can still understand whether they're good or not.
Right.
So it's good and bad, I think. But overall, I liked it. Yeah, for the same reason as you. A little upset about our little Hannah Montana from Spain.
Gone too soon. Gone too soon.
Way too soon. Just as a reminder, what happened on the last episode. It was the Mocatriz, the Triple Threat Challenge, where the queens had to model, sing, and act their way to the top. Sagittaria pulled out the win. And after 3 weeks in the bottom and getting harsh critiques, Inti decided to walk away from the competition. Now, Ali, again, it's hard because we don't really know who the characters of Snatch Game were. If you had to rate it as Snatch Games go, how would you rate this one?
Because everyone -1 did well, or at least I perceived as a viewer. You know, the only character that I honestly knew was like the Mona Lisa, right? So, but I would rate it as a very like good content. I thought pretty much everyone did a great job other than Ugaseo. That was really hard to watch, and it was like, oh, but other than that, like someone has to do bad, you know. But it was nice that pretty much everyone had like it was like a pretty like, I don't know, it was content, you know. I was content. I was like, oh, okay. It's cool seeing everyone succeed for the most part in this initial Snatch game.
I agree. I think there was a lot of, I also like it too when you see it and then you want to know who that person is because you don't know them. So you want to Google them. So there were a couple that I Googled because I was like interested to see who they actually were. So that I always think is a good sign too, regardless. But first we had the mini challenge, which was the reading challenge. Any standouts for you?
Honestly, no. Okay. I don't know. I didn't really have any standouts personally.
If you guys are in the chat and watching live, comment. Let us know who you thought stood out.
Did
in
you?
The reading challenge. I think too. You know, there's always this thing where you wonder if someone's going to do well, because they don't tend to be a funny person. So I never know, do I really think they're that funny? Or is it because I wasn't expecting them to do well that makes what they're saying funnier, if that makes sense? So I was kind of surprised by Carmen because I know she doesn't think of herself as a comedy queen. I thought both of the two that they showed of hers were really funny. And that for a second I went, oh, she might win this. But then Poopy went last, so then Poopy ended up winning it. Hello, Elaine. Elaine saying hi from the chat room. For me, Poopy here. Luis Manuel Hernandez Elias says, for me, Poopy did great on the reading challenge. I think it was good overall. I mean, I don't know that there was. Trying to remember if there was anybody that was horrendous. I don't think it would ever rank high on the list of reading challenge. I would agree with that too. I don't know. I feel like American queens are better at reading. I mean, I feel like it's just kind of how we are. Maybe Australia too. Australia, I think, got a little nitty gritty. I remember UK was tough too. Like some were better than others, but anyway, yeah, I guess Poopy deserved the win. I'm never gonna be a cheerleader on her sideline. And then the maxi challenge, as we said earlier, was Snatch Game. With the contestants for Snatch Game were Samantha Hudson, who is an artist, singer, actor, internet celebrity, and LGBTQ activist, and Kika Loras? Butchering these names. I feel so bad for anybody who's Spanish that's watching this. Kika started her career in 2009 as a drag queen, is now a singer, actor, and LGBTQ activist as well. So the only real drama leading up to Snatch Game was that Dovima and Killer Queen had both were planning on doing the same character, which was the Duchess of Alba. Basically, Killer ended up. She brought a back up. Okay, my thing is you shouldn't be coming with one anyway.
Right.
So I fought Dovima more than I fought Killer Queen. And spoiler alert, Killer Queen, even doing her not first choice, wins the challenge. So yeah.
I mean, that's why she gets double props. You know, she went in with her second or third. I don't know how many choices she had, but I also really respected Dovima for standing her ground. Like, nope, I'm doing it. Well, someone has to make the decision, but I was waiting for them to both do it because I didn't know that killer was going to change. I really didn't know. But regardless, like I respected them both in their own right, you know? It was cool. They both made it work. Obviously, killer made it work more clearly, and I was really happy with her being able to do that because, you know, I was afraid that she might flounder, flop because of that, you know. Maybe nerves get the best of her, but it really showed her talent of just kind of like improving and rolling with the punches.
Yeah.
So I was like,
and I feel like Killer is really good at improving and that kind of stuff. Like, I think she does a really good job. You know, I think as you know, somebody who studied improv too, going big is always better. Always better because you can always pull back from somebody who's going big. And I just think I don't know. It just says more about the person that they're more willing to let go and do that kind of stuff. So I really like Killer. I like Killer more and more each episode. All right. So let me, you know what I do have? I think I have it. Let me see if I saved it on my computer. I thought I did. I thought I had done, I had a photo of all of them in their, somebody had posted a,
group photo.
Of all their, what did I do with it? Of all their Snatch Game characters. Dun, 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 dun. I guess I don't have it. Let me look on my desktop one more time. I thought I knew what it was called, but maybe I called it something else. All right. Well, I guess that's not going to be. Anyway, all right. So we'll kind of do both at the same time. We'll talk about the runway and the Snatch Game together. Again, we had Anna Locking, Javier Ambrosi, Javier Calvo, who I did find out is going to hyphenate. So it will be Javier Calvo Drennan. Just so you all know, okay. I did get the official statement from him. He is going to hyphenate. Guest
very
judge.
Sweet. Very sweet.
I know.
He doesn't have. I told him he didn't have to do that.
Our little fantasy world we're living in, Ollie. I think this is why we enjoy it so much. And then guest judge was Bad Gayal. Did you know who that was?
No, but I'm in love with her now.
Yeah, she was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think she's a musician. I meant to Google her and I forgot. But
the song they lip synced to was hers, and it's a new favorite song. New favorite song.
Dovima isn't funny as herself, but as another character, that's a good point, Chucky Chuck. Dovima as herself isn't that funny, but as another character, she did good. Yeah. Hello Kitty agrees with that as well. All right, so as I said in the intro of this video, we got the reading challenge, Snatch Game, and a ball all in this episode. I was like, they aren't messing around.
I kind of didn't like that. My one critique of the episode, minus who went home, I was like, oh, I didn't like that. I kind of wish they would have had the ball for another episode, because then it's just so much to kind of like take into as a viewer. You're like, holy crap. Like, I still enjoyed the episode. Loved it. However, it's like you're critiquing not only the ball, but also Snatch Game. It's like two totally different things, and they should be separate.
Yeah, I agree. Even though there weren't as many queens, like at least they didn't do it with like 9 queens or 10 queens. They did it with, 7 queens. So it wasn't too bad, but I agree with you 1,000%. It was my thought too.
As long as we get a makeover challenge, I'll be happy, because if they seem to be doing all of them, they're trying to squish all of like the most notable challenges. Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. Well, and I get, Chucky Chuck, I agree with your statement. I just put it up. I was disappointed that they didn't really make the ball feel special. I agree 1,000%. Well, it's also usually its own challenge, because usually the third look is constructed. Right. So they were obviously able to bring all 3 of their looks. So
Which thank goodness, so we didn't have to see another poopy construction. I'm still haunted by that look she came down.
Well, I have a feeling if they're wanting to keep her around, that there's not going to be another costume making challenge, because I think she's guaranteed bottom if that's the case. And I'm wondering if that's the reason why they did it the way that they did it. But whatevs. So in the ball categories were Trashy Chic, Aggressive Executive, and Marabella Jet Set. All right. First up, Ollie, and again, we can talk about their snatch game as well. First up is Miss Carmen Farala, and I do have a picture of all three of the looks together. So here you go, buddy.
Oh, nice. Okay, first, her looks were just impeccable.
Yeah.
That last one.
Yeah. With the blonde hair.
And it was like, you saw the sunburn, but it was still so glamorous at the same time. Like, that was my favorite look of the week. I thought she was a huge contender to win, because I guess if they're grading the looks and the snatch game performance, because I thought she did pretty well in the snatch game too. Like, she was probably like top 3, I would say. But anyways, like, I thought she did amazing this week.
I did too. I really liked all three of her looks. I thought my favorite was the Aggressive Executive. I thought she looked. Again, it's simple, and I have to point that out, because again, I feel like, this is what I was going to say. I'll say this again when we do the recap for All Stars, but this is what I thought of, what I wish I would have said when we were recapping the first 2 episodes of All Stars about Eureka's look. I feel like if Gigi Good, Carmen Farala, Sagittaria, if any one of them came out in what Eureka was wearing, everybody would be like, legs for days, amazing, she looks gorgeous, da-da-da. But again, because it's a bigger girl, I feel like everybody is kind of like, oh, it's too simple, da-da-da-da. So I am going to call out Carmen on a little bit of it being a little plain Jane, but I did like it. I did like the look, the Aggressive Executive, but I feel like it's a little bit of a double standard when it comes to the bigger girls and doing a simple look. Just my opinion. And I thought, and I did that. What her character was one of the ones I Googled because I wanted to see, like, is this just an angry woman? And she did. She, like, every video that I saw that was on there was like this woman just like screaming and yelling at people, like those videos you see of people, like cops videos. So I don't know. I again, I don't know the character that well, but I didn't think she was horrible in Snatch Game. All right. Next up is Poupie Poisson. Ollie, your thoughts on Poupie's runway and Snatch Game?
Not my favorite looks. I like the last one because I didn't know who that was, but I liked the reaction that the judges liked. And it was a reveal, totally something different. And then her performance, I thought this was Poupie's week to win. I didn't want her to win. Like, I wanted Killer to win for sure, but I thought this was like her episode because not only did she win the reading challenge, she also did. The judges were basically eating her up in like the display that the performance she was giving on the runway. You know, she definitely sold it to the judges. So I was thinking like, oh my gosh, Poupie's gonna win this week. But yeah, I thought she did really good in the Snatch Game too. Like, she was very like consistent and she kind of interacted with everyone. And you didn't see her break character at all. So yeah.
I agree with Hello Kitty. Poupie was okay. Meh. Again, she's real. Here's my thing. And again, this is like, I feel like she's getting a pass on so much because of this name that she is in Spain. I mean, I think everybody, if you want to guess what I'm going to say about her runway before I even say it, I'll give you an opportunity to say it because she did something that I absolutely despise on the runway. Anybody want to say it? She wore gym shoes for her first look. And It was just, I mean, it's literally just, hold on, let me put it up again. It's like a black top and a black wraparound skirt with gym shoes. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Is like, could you imagine if Killer Queen came out in that? A throw and go wig, a black top, black short, black skirt, gym shoes. Like, are you kidding me with this? Like, okay, and here's my other thing. Sorry, I'm on my shitty tangent. This is, okay, so when we do this, when we're doing it in America, maybe they have a different idea of what they're doing in Spain. But when we do it, this is America's next drag superstar. Somebody who's going to carry the torch, somebody who is elevated, who is like this better than all these other drag queens for the year. Are you kidding me with this? If this was anybody else, and they keep, I hate that they keep going, well, it's Poopy and she's a legend, and Poopy and she's just doing Poopy and da-da. Well, that doesn't make it good. Oh, just so aggravating to me. Okay, I'm done venting about Poopy. And I thought, I mean, they didn't, I've actually, when I went back and watched, they didn't really show Poopy that much during Snatch Game. So I didn't really have much to gauge it on. I mean, I just felt like she talked over a lot of people, but I mean, as you know, I'm not going to have very many nice things to say about her. Anyway, I will move on because I'm just ranting. Next up is Yugaseo. Let me grab his or hers or theirs. Holly, your thoughts on Yugaseo?
Beautiful. I love them all. I love that they were all different colors. I loved her little 2002 cell phone. I like literally like those are the people that I grew up with in high school. So I was like, she got that. She nailed it for the first one, the bad girl, or what was it?
The trashy chick.
And then she's such a conceptual queen.
Yeah.
When her executive realness, I don't know what the actual term is that they call
it. Aggressive executive.
Aggressive executive. I was like, what the hell is this at first? It wasn't bad, but I was like, the shark. Yes, bitch, I got it. Okay, like, but they said it. And then I also just loved her because you know you're used to her being so like artsy, and that's like what she's known for. She's the club kid. But for her to see like this, a little bit of glamour like added onto her, but yet to retain her, who she is, I thought she did amazing. Now in Snatch Game, that's a different story because obviously she bombed Snatch Game and it was so hard to watch. She could look the part for her Mona Lisa, but I absolutely just love the yellow like head wrap, like her like it was beautiful. I loved all her looks. She might have my favorite like as a collection. Carmen has my favorite, like the Paris Hilton one, but I thought she did amazing. But her Snatch Game was just so cringeworthy.
Well, I will say this: if I have to say one positive thing about her Snatch Game, she friggin' looked like the Mona Lisa, and it was kind of creepy.
Oh yeah, it was terrifying,
terrifyingly good. You know, again, it's not everybody's thing, but again, I feel like, you know, these queens that are not that stereotypical runway, pretty body, pretty face, fishy looking, you know, rhinestone gown. If they're not that, they are nitpicked to death. And I feel like I agree with you. I think her runway was one of the best, and not one of them. And again, maybe they did, and then we didn't get to see it. But nobody said how good her runway was. They actually were making fun of her makeup on the following episode because they were like, "Oh, we see your real face," and blah 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 blah.
But I like that she went out of the box. You know, like that wasn't that's not her typical looks at all. She understood the assignment.
Agreed. And I would have been more bothered if all three of her looks looked like the aggressive executive. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I feel like she is mixing it up.
Right.
I feel like I am seeing different aspects of her, whereas I would say, you know, even, I mean, I mean, Carmen's done some different things, but it's pretty on the same spectrum. But nobody's really saying anything to her about that. Again, I feel like Pretty gets a pass. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next up is Dovima Nurmi. Let me grab her trio look for you, Ollie, and I will throw that up. Go for it.
I love them, but it was kind of like, it's like the beautiful Dovima that we know, like they didn't excite me. It's like, yes, this is her, we get it, but like they didn't excite me as much as someone like Ugaseo or Carmen's looks. They were just very like, she definitely like kind of stuck to her aesthetic rather than really go out of the box like Ugaseo did. So yeah, like also they just weren't that memorable. Beautiful, glamorous, yes, Dorvina. But they just didn't excite me. And I think in terms of her snatch game, was it bad? No, but definitely middle of the pack for me. Yeah. Just kind of like, I don't know. It didn't really like resonate with me. I think she was too, I think she's a good example of a queen that was too prepared. Yeah. With her one, because obviously she only had one choice. So I think maybe she just like knew, okay, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to do this. I'm going to fall asleep, yada, yada, yada. But I don't know. I think she was just too planned.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%. And I do agree with you here. Hello Kitty. There was nothing special about her looks to me. And I'd even argue that her first look is not trashy chick. Like, I just didn't like, I felt like I feel like she just doesn't want to, again, you're going to talk about that nobody gets Hugaseo, but Dovima's literally doing the same thing every week. Literally. Like she's not mixing up. I know she thinks she is, but she's not. And it's maddening to me. She was just kind of blah to me. I was just so bored with her runway, and I was bored with her snatch game. Like nothing. She was the Duchess of Alba. Sorry, we didn't really say. And I didn't know Poopy was Karina, who I didn't really know. I was going to Google her and I forgot. And then Arantxa is next. She was Belén Esteban, who I also don't know who that is. But at least there were a couple moments when Arantxa, like, she at least showed personality during Snatch Game. And like, I wanted to know who that was. I wanted to see how well she was creating this person, Mm-hmm. Here's her runway for you, Ollie.
Yeah, like it's typical Arantxa. Like it's obviously not going to be elevated. Like I'm trying to defend my girl. It's not going to be as elevated as like Dorvi, like in terms of like polished. Yeah, Arantxa's not a polished queen. I definitely liked her. Like, which one did I like the most?
All right, here it is again.
I think I like the first one the most.
Her trashy chick.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I like that one the most because she had a whale tail, if I remember correctly. Did it have a whale tail? I think where she suffered, I don't know if this was the edit. I just feel like we didn't see her a whole lot in Snatch Game. Do you think that? Like, I feel like we saw so much of Killer, obviously, because she did amazing. We saw a lot of Sagittaria, but I don't think we saw a whole lot of her. We even saw more of Ugaseo bombing it, So I felt really bad for her. I guess maybe she should have pushed it a little bit more, but I definitely think she was critiqued pretty harshly for her performance. Because like, I don't know, they had to pick someone else to be in the bottom two with Ugaseo. But yeah, I guess her looks weren't as elevated as they could have been. But I appreciate her so much. Yeah. And yeah.
As you were saying it, I was putting up Hello Kitty's comment, which is exactly what you were saying. Arantxa Arantxa doesn't have an elevated, but I loved her. Yeah, exactly. Loved her look. She added the word look on the next thing. Yeah. Again, this doesn't bother me. Like, at least she's doing the challenge. At least she's trying to mix it up. At least she's, like, again, I don't care that it's not stoned. I don't care that it's not, perfectly tailored and stuff like that. There's something about a little a little bit messy, that's okay with me for drag. Like, I mean, obviously you want to improve, you want to get better, you want to do stuff. But I didn't hate it. What does this say? Elaine's saying, I think I like them more when they're not so perfect and polished. Exactly, which is what I'm saying. And by the end of the season, they get so much better, like Heidi in Closet. Exactly. Exactly. Like, and I say this all the time. Ollie's so tired of hearing me say it. For regular seasons, I don't care. I don't care. I think it's about, I think it's more about the charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. Like, that's what we're being judged on. None of those 4 things say beaded gowns, say perfect wigs, say brilliant makeup. Charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. That is it. If you've got those other things, great for you, but you don't need that to win. Okay. Woo! What happened there? Where'd that come from? All right. Next up is Killer Queen, who is the winner of the challenge. There's the photo. Let me throw it up there for you, Mr. Ollie. There you go.
Yes, Queen. Because they were all so distinctly different silhouettes.
Yeah.
Again, like Ugoseo did the assignment.
Yeah. Completely. And Snatch Game.
Like, I didn't need to, like, another character that I didn't need to know, but like I got the character and the way she sold it. This, I guess, what's the word? She kind of like schizophrenic a little bit. But she was that conservative, like politician kind of character. So I instantly got that. She was amazing. Yeah.
I mean, I think she deserved, I think what put her over the top was the runway. You know, sorry, I'm laughing at Elaine's comment in the chat. I see you, Lorayne. She's escaping. That's funny. Yeah, I think the runway put her over the top. I love that she, like you said, she did the same character, all 3 looks, but each one was its own. It was so, like, I think it was your husband, Javier Calvo, that was like, it was the trashy woman, then she owned a beauty salon, then she made money off the beauty salon and did her jet set, thing. Like, it was the same person, she just different phases of her life.
Right.
And it was enjoyable to watch. So yeah, I agree. And I don't know, I thought again, I didn't know who that was, but I was completely entertained by her. The whole thing with the pizza, I didn't even know what the pizza was, but then when she opened, because they asked her to open it, and then she had like a thing about why there wasn't pizza. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's so quick. Like, that's what you have to be. And it's not easy for everybody. We're not saying it's going to be easy for everybody, but she really did well. And I think that's where she outshined Poopy.
Absolutely.
All right. And then I think, last but not least is Sagittaria. Let's grab her runway for you, Mr. Ali. Sagittaria Trio. There it is. And let's throw it up. There you go.
Not my favorite. And I also didn't need to see her asshole this week or the last week. I was like, okay, that was really, I mean, I guess that was aggressive, but like, I actually, that was probably my favorite look of her collection, but I didn't need to see her asshole. Also, it's been done. Detox did that. I wasn't a fan of her last look either, because I feel like everyone kind of like pushed and did like the sunburn or like the wild like hairline back to here. Like, I guess I wanted to see her a little bit more out of her comfort zone in terms of her look. She's always going to be beautiful. That's Sagittaria. I mean, she got all ugly up in her snatch game. So I appreciated that. When I saw her, I was like, who is that? Like, but honestly, you know what? I like her, but I'm forgetting about her. She's blending in. I don't know if you caught that, but I'm like, oh yeah, Sagittaria. I'm forgetting about her. Yeah. She's the last one I think about.
Me too.
She did good in the snatch game. I was surprised. I thought she was she was not the funny queen. She wasn't gonna be able to do it, but props to her for doing a pretty good snatch game.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on her this week.
I'm trying to remember. I feel like there's somebody that because of her snatch game that she's reminding me of. Somebody that like I didn't expect to do well in snatch game, but ended up doing well, and you were just kind of like, "Oh, really? Wow, you did really well." I actually thought they were going to give her the win, and then when she did the runway, I was like, "Okay, now she's not going to get it," because I did not like. This was so talk about like off the rack. Like, come on. Like, okay, and I get you're fashioning yourself after Aquaria, but Aquaria would not have come out in any of that.
Oh my God. And Aquaria won the ball, you know? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to describe it. They weren't like, she didn't push herself. It did seem kind of like off the rack. And off the rack isn't like always a bad thing, but if all three of them are off the rack kind of looking, you know, so.
Yeah. Well, so as we said, Killer Queen won the runway and challenge. The lip sync was between Arantxa Castilla-La Mancha and Yugoseo Cruente. They sang to Bad Gael's song, which I wasn't going to even attempt to say and write down because they're in Spanish and it's just going to make me look like even more of a fool. But I will say I really liked... I think it's Gael is her name. Bad Gael.
Bad Gal.
Oh, Bad Gal. I guess I get it now. Okay. I liked her like kind of pep talk for them before the lip sync. I feel like España's lip syncs, like, I don't know if it's because the judges are so into them. We've said this before. I feel like the judges are very encouraging and supportive, and they kind of want everybody to do well. So I just thought it was nice that she kind of said something to them before and again, maybe other people do it and we don't see it. Again, I'm going by what we see, and I liked seeing it. So yeah. Also, I think you saw it too. I mean, Supreme visually was upset about sending Arantxa home.
Yes. I thought I was the only one who caught that. She did not look happy.
She literally looked like she was holding back tears sending her home.
Yeah. She looked like, fuck. She wasn't supposed to go home yet. That's literally what I thought. And because I feel like Ugusea did amazing. Like, to me, won that lip sync. And, you know, but I just felt so bad. I was like, she's not her time to go. You know, if anything, it seemed like it was time for Ugusea to go because of the whole storyline, the beautiful letter that they got from their little brother. Like, that was really beautiful. And how everyone was like, so just like supportive. So I was like, this is when they do that, it's time for that queen to go. But yeah, I'm glad you noticed that too. It almost was like, oh my God, can they have a comeback? Which probably not, but that's exactly what I thought. I'm glad you caught that.
Totally. I totally saw it. And I think we both, like you said, we didn't see a lot of Arantxa's snatch game, but I think a lot of the reason she was in the bottom was mostly because of her runway. So I guess the right two people were in the bottom. Yeah. Although I would argue that Dovima should have been in the bottom.
Yeah. If anything, switched out with Arantxa.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And there's your story, you know, Dovima versus, you know, Uguseo, but whatever. Yeah. So then let's get into some of the mirror moments, which is what you just mentioned, was Hugoseo's letter from her younger brother, or their younger brother. Sorry, I don't know her pronouns. And he's just a big supporter of Hugoseo's drag. And it was just such a like sweet thing, you know, to know that his family is so loving and supporting, you know.
Right.
Also, Arantxa had a thing in her confessional. She talks about it, and they kind of talk about it in the workroom too. Is like telling your family that you do drag is like a second coming out. And Arantxa says it's harder than coming out of the closet, because I think it is. I think you kind of get. I think people kind of just don't. I mean, now again, I think now it's a very different story because everybody and their grandmother does drag now. because everybody and their grandmother wants to be on national television, and they think that's the easiest way because they actually don't even have to be good. Let's be honest. Drag Race isn't the best of the best in the country. It's some of the best in the country, and then people that need to go home early. So people know that they can just get on, whatever. But I thought it was interesting because it is definitely something that is something you do have to do. You're just like, oh, I used to always say the hardest thing was when I liked somebody. Was now I have to figure out how I'm going to tell them about Lorayne.
Yeah. Because it's like a levels of intersectionality. It's like not only am I queer, I also perform as a drag entertainer. So it's a double double whammy. I have to do this again so I can understand how that is, especially for like Hispanic households where there's traditional values implemented, like typically, not all the time. Like it's good that a lot of these queens have like supportive households, but growing up, like knowing so many other Hispanic households, and how, I've had so many friends that were afraid of coming out to their traditional household because they're Catholic, they're Christian, whatever, same thing. So yeah, I could understand how scary that could be. And, they're so afraid of getting kicked out. So
totally.
It's terrifying as a youth, but I'm glad that a lot of these queens have such a supportive like family back home.
Yeah, totally. And Chucky Chuck and Hello Kitty, I do see your comments, but I'm going to be talking about that in the next episode. So we will talk about that in a moment. My quote of the episode, which I thought was appropriate. Sometimes, I always pick funny things, but there was something that Killer said that I just really kind of was like, I thought an important statement. So I thought I'm going to make this my quote of the week. When Killer Queen says, "We are only artists who want to brighten up the world. So be nice to us, please." And I literally, I think I even started clapping in my room when she said it. I was like, yes, what she said. It's true. I think people forget that, they forget that that's what doing drag was about, for me at least, is making people happy, forget about things.
And making tips. Why not?
Yeah. Right.
Get your coin and make people laugh.
Yeah. Elaine. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, just kill two birds with one stone.
Exactly. Elaine, I wish everybody thought like you. She says, so I think drag is an art form and I can understand why people have a problem with it. Of course, I'm a theater major. Exactly. Because we're theater majors, we understand it. But everybody doesn't get that, All right. That was episode 4 in the books. Now, episode 5, The Art of Drag. I will say this before we get into it. I'm going to end up asking you what you think of the episode here anyways, but I will start by saying it may be the meanest episode of the season. I don't even have a mirror moment for this episode because I felt like it was just did you feel that? Like, after I got done watching it, I was like, okay, you're making me not like this show now because I really like the upbeat, positive energy of it. Mm-hmm. And this episode kind of really I felt like it brought it down. Did you feel that?
No.
Oh.
I don't know. I think maybe I saw some points in the episode, but I think it's more so to showcase like it's getting down to the wire. Queens are going to start being mean. Let's make sure we kind of paint that picture of it, and make sure we hone in on like some of those critiques and whatnot. And like, the commentary of the queens as well. So I think maybe that's a part of it. I hope it gets a little bit more happier. I'm sure it will. Yeah. What would you say to your younger self, Carmen? Like that'll come up, but maybe so. It's getting down to the wire. And I think they want to bring forth that drama back to kind of like, raise the stakes and also the tension with the queens. Because for up until now, it has been very like, and I love it. It's been very like, they've been supportive of all each other for the most part, So I think they're trying to like entice us with some drama.
Well, that's what I was thinking too, is like, I wonder if this is just, it's getting down to the wire and they're all just starting to freak out. Like, okay, I want to play the game. I don't know. But I just was like, I love Hello Kitty. You get the quote of the episode. I wanted to go shower. I love that, Hello Kitty. You made me laugh. All right. So there was a mini challenge in episode 5. It was called Two Fags in a Barrel. And there we got to see the twins. I said there were twin pit crew members. There were the twins of the pit crew. I'm always fans of twins. As a twin, I support twins 1,000%. And I'll take either if either are interested. I am not particular. So they were working in pairs, and they basically had to stomp grapes. And whoever had the most juice after stomping for 3 minutes, they won the challenge. They were paired up, and I actually really liked this. They were paired up by choosing earrings. Mm-hmm. So whoever got the earring pair was a pair. I actually thought that was a really cute, clever idea, which we've never seen that before.
Yeah, and I like challenges that actually aren't like, oh, anyone can win. I guess it's not skill, but I like those more competitive challenge. Like, no, bitch, you have to get up there with your random ass partner. It didn't seem that produced, and it was really funny to watch. Like, I love seeing Carmen and Poopy work together because they're kind of like the rivals, like the biggest rivals of each other, other than like Sagittaria and Dovima. But it was a really fun challenge to watch.
Yeah. The pairs were Poopy and Carmen, Sagittaria and Dovima, Ugaseo and Killer Queen. All right, so
I love Killer Queen's pants were falling down.
Yeah,
it was so funny.
It was funny. It was like because at first they came out and I was like, "What is this?" But then as it kept going, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, and they're making it theirs. And I love that they're doing that. I'm assuming wine is a big thing there, and I mean, not that it's not here, but you know what I mean. But they made it part of the thing. I thought was really cute. Stepping in the barrel and the juice started flowing. Yes. Hello Kitty. When Poopy stepped in the barrel and the juice started flowing immediately. That was funny. Carmen even made a comment about it. So the Maxi Challenge was basically recording a historic TV series called, oh my God, why am I trying to even pronounce this? I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. It was about a Spanish historic TV series and they got a chance to play their main characters. They called their version Basic or Cynic, which doesn't sound as exciting in English as it does in Spanish. As winners of the mini challenge, Poopy and Carmen got to choose their roles in the challenge and got to assign the others to the other queens. All right, so let's just get this out of the way. I already said that I thought this was kind of a very mean episode. I'm going to now refer back to, I think Hello Kitty and Chucky Chuck in the comments. We're talking about this earlier, and I said I would talk about it in a second. I said when we were doing the first recap of this, like how Dovima was just being so kind and so like caring to Inti, and like she just really felt like she was just being so like authentic and everything. And it's like now I'm like, I don't want to see her anymore. Like she was so nasty. Like you were saying when they were reading Ugaseo's letter, she was literally like rolling her eyes in the corner. I mean, after the runway, she was mean to Ugaseo, just making comments about her. She also said Poopy should have won the first. Dovima also said that she thought Poopy should have won. That Carmen should have won. Dovima said that she thought Carmen should have won the first challenge, and then Poopy agreed as well. And then Carmen in her confessional says, Poopy says that Ugaseo says that Poopy should have won the snatch game to Killer Queen. Mm-hmm. Which Carmen also says in her confessional. She doesn't say it in front of the other girls. She says it in her confessional. Again, I don't know if that's better or worse that you're saying it off camera, but she didn't say it in front of everybody. She said it off camera. I think the thing is too, is like when I feel like when they're saying, like when I hear stuff like that, in my opinion, they're just trying to stir shit up and they're trying to get airtime.
Yeah.
Because ultimately it doesn't matter what you think.
Yeah.
It matters what the judging panel thinks.
Yeah. I thought that's kind of like where she was going from. I'm not defending her actions by any her words. But I think she's finally being the villain that she wanted. She's finally gotten to be the bitch, because she even said that earlier. I'm supposed to be the bitch, or like, what did she say? She's like, I'll be the bitch or the villain, whatever. She said something like that. So I was like, here it comes. Yeah. So we're finally seeing the villainous move over, Poopy. Here comes DRTVLA.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and Poopy's just obnoxious. I don't think that she's necessarily mean. I mean, she has been mean to people, don't get me wrong. But I feel like DRTVLA is now taking it, like, she just like, it's just getting to the point where like, I don't even want to hear the confessionals. Like, I don't want to hear her. Like, to me, it's like when they do those reading mean tweets. Why? Don't read them. You're just giving power to them. So if people are sitting in the confessional saying these nasty things, don't show what they're saying. Like, I don't know. I have a different, this is why I don't produce TV, because if no one would watch it. And then also DRTVLA comes for Hugo before the runway and says Carmen should have won the first challenge. And then Poopy also says that she thinks Hugo should be in the... I don't know. There was so much talk of Hugo going home this episode that I started to think, okay, she's probably not going to go home then. Did you have that thought?
Well, going into this knowing it was an acting challenge and how she's just not an actor, I felt like it was probably her time to go. If not... No, I felt like it was her time to go. You know?
But I'm just saying, I'm not saying I didn't think it was her time to go. I'm saying because of how I'm so used to things being produced here, that when you consistently the whole episode talk about somebody going home, they tend to not be the one to go home. Yeah. So that's why I think I was kind of thrown a little bit.
Yeah. And then we'll talk about it later, but we'll talk about it later. Just like the whole thing, like who do you think should go home? Like, I was like, okay, it's a wrap for her.
Yeah. Todd, I was thinking the same. I was hoping that was the case too. I kept thinking, oh, maybe it's going to be like her and DRTVLA in the bottom and she's going to send DRTVLA home. Like, that would have been an amazing, amazing story. I mean, if you want to produce it well then. You know what I mean? Like, come on, people. No, I thought she was going home. However, showed what I was... What does it say? Hold on. Hello Kitty says, no, I thought she was going home. Calvo showed what I was characterized as disgust. Oh, okay. I'm assuming by her performance. Okay. So did anybody in the challenge surprise you, Ollie, in the acting challenge itself?
Well, I wasn't that big of a fan of this challenge. It was very, kind of made me uncomfortable. I get it. I get what they were going for. Like, it's kind of like, I can't pronounce the show that they're parodying, but it's like, I guess that was like the Spanish version. It reminds me of like, I don't know if you know what Degrassi is, which dealt with like, you know, like all those crazy topics that teens go through and like high schoolers, you know, sex, drugs, you know, like all of that crazy stuff. So I get they were parodying that show. I've seen like clips of that show as well. But I was like, just wasn't a fan of it. You know, I get Poopy. Poopy did well. Yeah.
Do you think she was the best?
Maybe Carmen was best. I don't know. There wasn't a number one standout for me.
I just, again, I think I always say this, like if the runway isn't the challenge, the runway can only help or hurt you.
Yeah.
So I felt going into the runway, I thought, okay, well, they're going to give it to Poopy just because she's an actor or whatever. She's a comic. I'll put it in air quotes because I would disagree. It's not and I've said this before, it's not my kind of comedy. I'm not a vulgar queen. I'm never going to be emulating sex on stage like that and fingering myself. Like, it's just not funny to me. I want a more cranial humor. And I agree with you. When it was all said and done, I was just kind of like, this wasn't funny at all. It was kind of just gross and disgusting. And it may be a Spanish humor, I don't know. But I agree with you. And I agree. Todd, I agree. Carmen won with her face.
I will say, wait, was this? Maybe I'm thinking of something else. But weren't the Javiers there? Weren't they there? Okay, yeah. So that was a nice treat to see this episode. Specifically Calvo.
Yeah.
My husband. Well,
Yeah.
soon to be.
Soon to
So
be.
it's nice seeing like the judges. And when Supreme is also helping out too, it's nice seeing them like kind of not just be their judge roles. So it's nice that they're a little bit more interactive with the girls. But yeah, I wasn't a huge fan of this challenge.
I'm sorry, I forgot who said this in the chat, but somebody did say this. Javier Calvo played a role on the original series.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So he was in the actual show that they were spoofing. I agree, Hello Kitty. We've said this before, Ollie. España shows us much more than we get on US TV. I don't understand how they're doing it because we're not even getting an Untucked. But again, I do feel like the show's over and I know more and I feel like I'm seeing more. I don't know. Maybe we're just getting a lot of cutaways to makeup and shit on ours. I don't know, because they feel like they can put it in the Untucked. But I agree. I agree with that statement. Yeah, it was nice to see the Javiers and stuff. Yeah. You say I wasn't directed to do anything differently. She was set up to go home. She does make a comment that she wasn't directed by the Javiers. So, I mean, it could be, very well could be. Chucky Chuck says he thinks that they were kind of disrespecting the original series. So Chucky Chuck, you're familiar with the original series. I would be curious to hear more of your thoughts on that if you are familiar with the series.
Javier, what are you doing to the series that you're on?
I know, right? Exactly. Again, it may be a cultural thing too, where that kind of humor is, blah blah blah. Yeah, well, it's on WoW too, so yeah, we it's not on regular network TV, so we can see more than regular. All right, so we're back on the runway. Anna Locking, Javier Ambrosi, Javier Calvo. Guest judge is as she put it, the other Alaska, which I thought was funny that she actually said that. So her real name is Maria Olivedo Garajova. Better known as Alaska, is a Spanish-Mexican singer, DJ, and television personality famous in Spain and Hispanic America. She was one of the founding members of the La Movida Mandril. Oh, I can't say these words. The cultural and artistic movement that followed the end of the Franconist Spain. So she was obviously very well known. They all kind of freaked out that she was there. So, might be one of my all-time favorite themes of a runway. I thought, again, what a clever idea. The category was Spanish art, eleganza, extravaganza. So they were all some sort of Spanish art or artist or something of that sort. All right. So first up is Dovima Nurmi. I will grab her photo for you, Ollie. Thoughts on Dovima's runway? There you go. Are you frozen?
No. I just don't have thoughts.
Say it.
I'm sure I'm sure it costs a lot of money to make that, or I don't know, whatever. It just, I didn't like it. It just looked like she was caught in like curtains. If you're trying to do like, I don't know, I didn't care for it. It just, I don't know. The outfit was wearing her. She wasn't wearing the outfit.
Yep.
That was like
1,000%. 1,000%. Couldn't agree more. Good. I'm so glad that's why I like you when you go first, because I go, Mark, are you biased? Are you being just judgmental because you don't want her to do well? So I'm glad that you said that, because it makes me feel a little bit better. And again, could you imagine if Killer Queen came out in this? She would have been read for filth. I'm sorry. She would have been. And it was like gorgeous, amazing. I'm like, no, she didn't do anything. She literally hung drapes on a rod and put it on.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, reminded me of Gone with the Wind. I think you're talking about the Carol Burnett thing where she makes the Gone with the Wind thing out of the drapes. Totally. I know what you're talking about, Hello Kitty.
But that has like shape too. You know, like the Carol Burnett.
Exactly.
It's shapely, and like we get that reference easily. Utica even did it like on her season.
Yep.
But this was just literally, I just got SpongeBob, like artsy SpongeBob. If SpongeBob was going to the Met Gala. Yeah. She's beautiful, beautiful queen, beautiful gowns, but yeah, not my favorite.
Yeah, totally agreed. All right, next on the runway is Poopy Poison. Ollie?
I will say, you probably won't agree with, but Poopy's like face is getting, like, her makeup's Poopy's looking beautiful, like her, because like earlier in the season I'm like, Poopy, your face, like, I don't know, she's looking better in the makeup category, I will say that. Yeah, I guess I wanted more like art inspired. I got just more Victorian, like, I don't even know if that's the right word. I just didn't see the art in it, like someone like Killer Queen or Ugo Seo.
Yeah.
Like that to me read more art. Even Carmen, like, for crying out loud, with her skirt.
Yeah.
But this was just like, I don't know. Did you like it?
No. I mean, I think I'm so glad Anna said it looks like something you rented, a costume you rented. Because all I kept thinking was she rented this costume for the runway. Like, that's all I kept thinking. How long can I rent this for? Can I rent this for 6 weeks? Because I'm going to need it for 6 weeks because I'm going away and I need to take it with me. Like, that's literally, and then when she lifted it up, you could see the bar. Like, she pulled it up so high, you could see the bar. And she's just sloppy. Like, she's just not, I'm sorry, she's not put together. She's not a seasoned queen that should have made it this far. Like, there's just, again, she's getting a pass because of her name. She's not elevating drag. She's not taking drag to the next level. She's not even trying to be skilled at anything. I hate that when they talk to her on the runway, she can't just sit and listen and talk and take in what they're saying and say thank you and move on. She has to make a comment about everything. And it's so infuriating to me. I just don't get it. I don't get it. And I question being famous in Spain now, if this is who you guys make famous. All right, moving on. Who keeps getting me wound up, Ollie? It's you.
No, it's Chucky.
It's Chucky Chuck, right? Okay, let's look in the chat room and see what they're saying. When she opened the skirt, the blue hoop showed. Yeah, see, thank you. Exactly. You could see it. Like, those are, again, like, could you see, like, Michelle says this all the time. I have to look at the details. If you're going to show your bra strap, I'm going to see your corset. But you can show the hoop under your hoop skirt that's blue, that's teal blue. Like, come on. Like, oh, Chucky, you're throwing Chucky Chuck under the bus. Ollie, are you throwing Chucky Chuck under the bus?
Someone has to go home tonight, and it's not going to be me.
Right, exactly.
Who deserves to go home tonight?
Checky chat. All right, next up is Killer Queen. Ollie?
I love this. I think didn't she get critiqued that it was too literal?
Yeah.
I saw the reference. I saw how artsy it was. If you're gonna go for, if this is an art runway,
right,
go for it. And I thought she did amazing. Like, I didn't see any art in what's her face, Poopy. Like, I didn't see that. I barely saw it in Sagittarius. Like, I want to see the painting of the artist translated in your drag. And I thought she did amazing. I don't know. I didn't see what the issue was. You know, like, she gets harshly critiqued for it being too on the nose. Whereas, like, where was it in Poopy's? You know?
Yeah.
Like, this was elevated to me. Yeah. To me. Whereas, obviously, as I think you already said it, like, where was the elevation in Poopy's?
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, and when you heard the theme of the runway, my first thing was Killer Queen and Hugh Caseo are going to nail this. Like, they're going to blow this out of the ballpark. And they both did. And yet they were both critiqued badly. And I'm just like, this is why I think this episode really frustrated me, because it was the first time I felt like production was getting involved. Because I really felt like, even though I might disagree with, like, a drag volcano, there was still a part of it that I kind of agreed with. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, okay, I don't think she should have gone, but, you know, whatever. And, you know, Poopy should have been in the bottom two the very first challenge as well. She was so good. A Killer Queen was so good. Like, my jaw dropped when she came out. Let me put that up again. It just was so well done. Just everything. It was literal. Who said it was perfection? It was just like, could you again imagine Sagittaria coming out in that?
She wouldn't.
They would have. Well, exactly. But they would have jizzed all over themselves. They would have been like, "Oh my God, you're amazing! You're brilliant! You look like Linda Evangelista." All right, let's move on to Hugh Caseo. I'll grab that photo for you, Ollie. Hugh Caseo, there it is, and let's pop it up for you. There you go.
It was so beautiful. I'm sure you probably didn't like the shoes, maybe.
Because I didn't mind them.
Because I think they were just, like, not heels. Like, that would.
No, they were like a period heel. There was like a period heel.
But I'm gonna miss her so much. I'm gonna miss them because just the face. It doesn't look real. It literally looks like walking art. And I think just as similar to what I thought of Killer Queens. Nailed it. They were the top two in terms of, like, runway, which is crazy. Like, I thought the runway might have saved them. Maybe one of them, Killer at least. But oh my God, just looking at their face was just so with the four eyes.
Yeah.
It was just, you couldn't stop looking at them. And I even loved the frame they incorporated into it was literally art brought to life.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree, Chucky Chuck. You know, I feel like this is what happens is somebody like Hugh Caseo comes on the show, and again, I will say it, if she was like, if all we were getting was that. But there were definitely, like, in the challenges, she's not painting crazy. She painted herself like a goth girl. Like, when she did the last runway, the 3, she did 2 of the 3 very normal, like, natural makeup. So it's not like she's trying to just, oh, no, I'm only going to do this. I'm only going to do this. So I give her lots of credit. And again, when certain people think outside the box, they're praised. But when it's somebody who's always thinking outside the box, who is always different, it's always like, well, it's just a little too much. All right. And then last, and I guess certainly least, is Sagittaria, who, in my opinion, should have been in the bottom.
Yeah. Still better than Poopies, I will say.
Yeah, I'll say that.
But I also kind of agree with you now because looking back on the challenge, I don't think she did that. I don't think she was that funny.
Mm-mm.
But of course, they're not going to put her in the bottom. I think they want her to go all the way to the end.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I just wasn't that excited for it.
I mean,
you know,
to quote Michelle, it's a leotard with a piece of fabric wrapped around her waist.
I loved her the flower crown, but that was kind of it.
That was it. Yeah. Here's what did Chucky Chuck say here? Once again, Sagittarius showing she can't be seen as anything less than beautiful. Exactly.
And I get it. Like I say this all the time, like less is more, but at the same time, comparing this or Poopies to Killer Queen or Ugaseo, like, are you kidding me? There's no competition of like at all.
Yeah.
She should have at least been at least in the bottom besides Killer. Without Killer shouldn't have been the bottom.
No, Killer should not have been in the bottom by no means. And I also, again, I think Killer's performance, okay, yes, maybe it was one note. She was just over the top. But I don't remember Sagittaria. I don't remember Dovima. And it's like, really, you guys? I mean, Hugo didn't do well. But at least Hugaseo, you could tell she was trying. Like, I felt like Dovima and Sagittaria were just like, I just have to show up. I just have to be there. You know, I'm gonna make it no matter what. And it's maddening. Like, I don't know. This is by far my least favorite episode, hands down.
I can agree with that for sure. And this isn't even like, and my girl Arancho went home last week.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. Looking back, I'm like, yeah, this wasn't my favorite episode.
I mean, the challenge itself, we didn't like. The way that they were judged, we didn't like. Dovima's attitude, we didn't like. Mm-hmm. I'm just hoping that next week is a complete 180. Or this week. Sorry, it's this week. Sorry, there is one more. How can I forget my future husband, Carmen Farala? So it was on the next page. Sorry, I was scrolling my paper and I
was like, wait, are we missing someone?
Yeah, my soon-to-be husband, Daniel Daniel Mora Rojas. That's it.
I loved it.
I call him Danny.
Oh, really?
Just so you guys know. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, Danny, come to bed.
Oh, you guys are in the nickname phase.
Yeah.
I loved it. I don't think it needed I don't think it needed the paint. Like, I was like,
oh, I see. I think the paint is what did it for me.
I was like, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. But I get it. She was trying to put up the performance. It worked. It worked out. Yeah, I really liked the silhouette on her. I don't know if we've seen that silhouette on her before. And I also really, really liked the hair. Yeah,
I did too. I like the hair. Because at first when she came out, I was just kind of, I liked it. Oh, if you could only see my little doggy. He's laying here on the ground. He looks so cute. I just thought it would look too simple. I was just like, oh, Carmen, I was expecting something more. And then when all that paint started coming out, I was like, no way. I just wasn't expecting it. It took me, yeah. I mean, I love my Carmen. So Todd says Carmen has grown on him, didn't like her at first, and now he's rooting for her. I've been rooting for her.
Episode 1.
Episode 1, I was in the game. Yeah. Who was this? Who agrees? Chucky Chuck agrees that it was the paint that made it stand out. I just thought it was great. I thought she should have won the challenge too. I thought with her runway and her performance, I think she should have won. No question. So, as you mentioned, they were asked which queen should go home today. They all said Hugaseo, and yes, Hugaseo did say Killer Queen. I think Hugaseo said that because of the critique. I don't think he necessarily thought she should go home. I think he was just like, well, I have to pick the other person that's going to be in the bottom with me. I think
they need to say something. I'm surprised. I'm just surprised they all ganged up on them. When Dovima have been in the bottom twice, so I'm surprised no one said them, especially like Sagittaria. They're supposed to have this rivalry, but I don't know. So I just really felt bad in this moment, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Todd says it was her. Yeah, and I agree. I think she actually made that was the best thing Carmen could have done, was choosing that zombie character to do.
Yeah.
Because
she finally had the ugly moment. The ugly.
Yeah.
Also, Dovima's the only one in this left that hasn't won a challenge.
That's true. And see, like, I wish, like, and I get it, like, everybody isn't like me, but it just frustrates me because if I was sitting there and Dovima was coming from me, I'd be like, girl, I don't care what you think. They gave me the win. They're picking the winner, not you. Oh, let's talk about your win. Oh, you don't have one. So why should I give two shits about what you think? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to see come out of Hugo-Seo. You know what I mean? Like, I just wanted to flip out on somebody.
But they're too pure and kind, you know?
I guess.
Which is why I love them so much. It's like, so soft-spoken. So soft-spoken, like me.
Yeah, exactly. She does not take after her mother. She's embraced the kinder side of me. And then Hugo-Seo does call out Sagittaria for calling her name because they worked together on the challenge, and I guess Hugo-Seo really gave Sagittaria a lot of advice that worked, in quotes. And you know, Poopy even says she didn't really have a response back to it. She kind of just stuttered, and didn't really have a good, you know. Yeah, totally, Todd. She needed to have Heidi come in and yell "F you, F you, and F you."
Exactly.
Totally. I don't think this will ever happen, Hello Kitty, but I'm all to be a judge on Drag Race. I have a feeling a lot of what I say wouldn't get aired. All right. You know, and then also too, I thought another thing was Killer Queen, when she got so emotional about being in the bottom with Hugo-Seo, and then telling him, and I love that she did, at least in front of everybody, say, never stop doing what you're doing, no matter what any of these people say, which
right.
I was so glad that she said that, and she said it out loud, and she said it in front of everybody. So kudos to Killer for that. So Poopy Poisson won her first challenge, whether we think it's rightful or not. She won. Killer Queen and Hugo-Seo were in the bottom. Again, I felt like the judges were really enjoying the lip sync song. I don't know, like they just get so into the lip sync that it makes me really get into the lip sync. So I appreciate it. Yeah.
Well, it's nice because we're used to the US version and they're just like, I mean, sometimes Rue is like singing along, but sometimes they just look at it like it's like, I don't know, you know. So it's especially the guest judges. It's nice having the guest judges want to be a part of the show. Yeah. Sometimes the guest judges is just like, can I just get my check?
Yeah,
like, you can just tell. So, but every single guest judge they've had up till now has just been, you can tell they're having a good time, you know, being a guest.
Yeah. Chucky Chuck thinks it was the best lip sync of the season. How do you think it ranked, Ollie?
It was good. I don't know if it was the best. I guess I can't really think right now off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Killer served it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was the best. I can't even think right now.
I know. I agree, Chucky. I don't know the song. It makes me want to go download it. But it was a really good song for me, not really knowing the songs that they've done this season. It was one of the few that I was like, oh, I kind of like this, you know, even though I have no idea what they're singing about. All right. As I said earlier, there were really no mirror moments because it was all kind of just nasty hostility towards each other. My quote of the episode goes to Javier Ambrosi when they were talking about I think it was after they showed the film, the movie that they created, and they were talking about it, and Javier says it's the highlight of my career. So that was really funny. All right. And then I have a pretty awesome, I think you're going to like this, Ollie, pretty awesome fan of the week this week. And I only did one because Laura VC on our YouTube for the last recap we did commented, and she gave a lot of, I thought, great information for us. So I want to read her whole comment. She says, "Hi there. As a Spaniard raised in Spain, I can tell you about the meaning of metal donnas." Because remember, we were talking about like why that stood out in that episode, why they were getting so. She said, "Yes, it was a play with metadonna for the drug. Metal, the word metal for the music style, and donna means woman in Catalan. So donna is a woman. So metal donna. So kind of saying that we are metal women, but at the same time, sounding like metadonna, the prescription, metadone, is used in Spain as one of the prescriptions for former heroin users in the 80s and 90s. They were a huge issue in the country due to heroin. We have such a black humor in Spain that a lot of the jokes are related to that time, the users and the government's projects put in use to help. As Proyecto Hombre mentioned in one of the readings ahead, the looks by then drug users in tracksuits. Got it. Okay.
Nice. Thank you for that.
Also,
thank you.
Yeah, I thought that was really, it was really detailed too. I was like, oh my God, that helps so much. Thank you, Laura. Also, she did have another thing in here as well. The words say, this isn't referred to. I was talking about how, on ours we say, if you can't love yourself, how are you going to love somebody else? Can I get an amen? And in Spain, they have their own thing that they've been saying. She says, as well, the words saying at the end of each episode are the lyrics from a famous song. She put the name of the song, and it's by Alaska, who was the judge, that has been always an anthem for queer, marginalized, etc. in Spain.
Nice.
So Laura, hands down, quota, fan of the week, fan of the last 2 weeks, I guess, because we do these every 2 weeks. But I wanted to give her her own special moment because that was such awesome, amazing information, Laura. We greatly, 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 greatly appreciate that. It really does help us enjoy the show. All right. So, news and gossip. The only thing that I have, and let me just pull this up real quick because I didn't write it in here. They did announce, I don't know, did you see they announced the Drag Race Canada's Drag Race?
Yeah.
Did you see this?
The panel.
Yes. They announced the judges. I do believe I sent it to myself. I did. So, it will be Brooklyn Heights, Queen of the North. Amanda Brugel, who I don't know. Brad Gorski, who was also on RE. What was the thing on E that he's on? It was like what Joan Rivers used to do.
Fashion Police?
Fashion Police. I think he was on Fashion Police for a while. He may still even be on it. But he is also a gay fashion person. And Tracy Melcher, who was also a guest judge on the first season, are the 3 other judges with Brooklyn because the other one left the show too. The other one couldn't do the show. We knew Jeffrey Boyer Chapman had walked away a while ago, but then the other woman who now name I can't
Stacey
remember. Stacey McKenzie, thank you. They are new. So that's news and gossip for you. Ollie, did I write down? Oh, so next week's episode is a roast of the judges. I don't know, Chuck, I think you said something in here. You said something that there's some comment about poopy. I missed that in the trailer. But they did make it look like it was a very dramatic elimination.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Do you have any idea you want to predict who is next to go home?
I can't predict at this point. I don't know. My top 4 isn't looking the way I thought it would be, which is, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't think it'll be Poopy if she's been like getting away with a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I just think it's Dovima's time to go. Like she hasn't perform. Everyone else has won a challenge but her.
Yeah.
You know, you got to win a challenge, girl, unless you slay next week. Do we know what the challenge is? Do we say that?
It's a roast. They're roasting the judges.
Oh, okay. I forgot. Well, Poopy will probably do well. I don't know if Sagittarius will do well. I think what I would ideally, I think it should be Sagittarius and Dovima lip syncing.
That would be a great.
Ollie's Drag Race España. That's what will happen. Make wonderful television, but yeah.
I think because it's a roast, I see Dovima in the bottom, regardless. I just don't see her. I just can't see anything that she can do that's going to make her not be in the bottom. The third worst. You know what I mean? Like she's going to be in the bottom too. Like I think that.
And I can't picture Killer. I can't picture Killer in there in the bottom.
I don't think so either. But this why I'm saying this episode 5 scares me because I'm going, okay, so are they really going to be producing this and playing down things that shouldn't be being played down? So that's my fear with Killer, is that she's going to do well, but they're going to go, well, but your timing was off. You know, like something like so stupid, like that you could just kind of like nitpick. So that's my fear with Killer. There is talk in the trailer or the teaser for next week. They make it look very dramatic. One of the judges, I think Supreme says, they show her saying, even a good queen has a bad day. Mm-hmm. Which, in my opinion, I think this might be what Chucky Chuck was referring to, is maybe Hoopy has an off day. And that they're all like upset because they all are like, they seem like devastated that this person is in the bottom. I'm with you though. I think if we go by who's funny, I think Sagittarius and Dovima need to be worried.
Mm-hmm. Because they're not playing characters. You know, we talked about it earlier. Dovima, you know, she's great when she's not herself. She's playing a character. But when she has to be herself, she can be shady, but like, or is she going to cross the line with some of the shade? And then Sagittarius is also kind of in the same boat of she can do a character like in Snatch Game, but you know, I don't know. I don't even think she was that funny in like the reading challenge.
Yeah. Did you see this?
Javier C walks off the stage, I think.
Yeah.
Is it? What the hell is going on next week? Jesus.
That's what I'm saying. Is like,
that was just him. That was him coming over to my place. Like he had to leave early. He was catching his flight. Spoilers. Sorry. That was what happened.
Yeah. Well, I think Chucky Chuck says Dovima's mean. I feel like in the teaser, somebody even says, they cut to somebody's like confessional and they say something like, there's a difference between being mean and being funny or something like that. So that may be a comment towards Dovima. Does Supreme vote? I think you're talking about because they pass in the judges pass over the stuff to her. I think she in her head knows who she wants. She takes their votes, and I think she lets that influence her to make a decision. I don't know that they're necessarily going, you know, 3 of us say yes, you know, 2 of you say no kind of thing. I think it's more of a, let me just see where you guys land and how I'm thinking.
And it makes sense if she, because it's also an odd number too. So even if that was the case, it's easier to eliminate someone if that's the case. Yeah,
totally. All right, you guys, we made it through. We're done. So we don't know. We think maybe 2 more episodes, possibly 3. It depends if they're doing a final 4 or a final 3. I haven't seen any spoilers, so I don't know what they're going to do. So we may have 2 more episodes. We may have 3 more episodes. We'll see. Ollie and I will definitely be back again to recap whatever's left of the season. So keep an eye out on our social media. Again, that is DRTVLA. If you're not following us, that's where you need to follow us so you can find out what's going on. Ollie, tell them where they can find you on the social media.
Yes, you can find me on the social media at Ollie Dreamer.
Yes, and you can find me. I finally added my Mark one on here. You can follow Mark at the Mark J. Freeman on social media. And again, you guys, please, please, please subscribe to our channel. We're begging.
It's free. It's free.
It's free. It's free. Don't click on the notification if you don't want to be annoyed, but you can subscribe. Like, it's not like you're going to get like a million things from us. You'll get an email, I think, when we post a video, just as like, hey, they're doing shit over there. Because we love you guys. I think that's what makes our recap so special is you guys. There are 1,000 reviews out there. You can watch a million people give their opinions. You could sit here and just watch us give our opinions, but I think what makes ours special is that we have you guys. We get to see your opinions. We get to see what actual fans who are watching the show are thinking of the show, and it does. It helps us. It really does help us. So thank you guys. I'm sorry we don't always get to everybody, but we do our best to give as many of you shout outs or throw your things up there as much as we can. So we will be back again. Watch social media for finding out when we're going to do the next one. And then we will be here Sunday. I think the whole gang's together next Sunday.
Or Monday.
Oh, Monday.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Good. Thank you, Ollie. Yes. So this week, we're not doing the All-Stars recap on Sunday. We're doing it on Monday because Sunday is 4th of July. So we're all going to do it on Monday at 3 o'clock. Jackie, Jayla, me, and Ollie, the foursome, will be back together again. So tune in Monday, July 5th. And I will be taking a break. I'll be dog sitting 2 other dogs. So I will have 4 dogs. So say a little prayer for me for the next couple of weeks. And if anyone wants to come over and help, you're more than welcome because I'm going to be going crazy. Thank you guys again. Mwah! We love you. We love you. We love you. And we'll see you all very, very soon. Bye, guys.